I'll call this meeting to order. It is Thursday, March 27th, 2025, and it's 10 a.m. and we're here to talk about the jail tech and staffing update and discuss vehicle repairs.
Yep. I'll start with the.
Okay. All right.
We'll start with the jail medical deputy position. I told you guys I'd come up with the how that's going to look. I emailed you guys. I don't know if you have. But here's a copy.
Okay, I got it.
Need it. And yo, you got a copy?
I got it.
All right, you can give one to Matt if you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just trying to solve kind of a twofold issue. First, we're having a hard time hiring in the jail, and also we're trying to find help with the medical issues going on with the staffing. So a lot of policy and jail standards talk about health trained staff. And so I was through brainstorming, and that's where I came up with this jail medical deputy position, which would still be encompassed in the current budget we have. So it would just be a detention deputy position that we have vacant. We have lots vacant, as you know. And so I came up with a list of duties they would have in here, all the way from reviewing all the intake of the medical screenings. We have lots of things in the jail standards we have to do for inmates, from 14-day health appraisals. I don't need to go over that whole list of stuff, but you can see what everything, kind of some of the stuff they would be doing. Some of the qualifications, at least 3 years of work experience, and then experience and training as either EMT, nursing, or other medical related field. And also they just need to have the same background type as a detention deputy would. They can't be working with inmates if they have a bad criminal record, but we're looking to hire someone with some training and experience in the medical field. And then
what kind of training in the medical field? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at, like I said, anything. They could be an EMT, any type of nursing experience, working in the hospitals, that kind of stuff. We would.
Phlebotomist.
Yeah, we have.
Why would you need a phlebotomist?
We don't need one.
Yeah, we don't need one, but that's just a lot of times that comes up.
But that's my question: is do you guys do blood work there?
Only under court order. It's only happened twice, but I believe one of our patrol deputies is.
Yeah, we wouldn't need that. That's not any requirement of any kind. So
it's just the experience behind it is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wondering if you guys did blood work or whatever down there. So okay.
Yeah, we want someone that has some training and experience in medication. I already talked to one gal who's interested in this job and she mentioned there's med pass training through NIC that they can do that kind of trains them how to do the medication passing and kind of manage those medications a little bit, working with the doctor. But everything they would do would be under the supervision and guidance of the jail medical provider and the jail administrator.
Okay.
Because talking to ICRAMP, they think this is a really good idea, and it would definitely help us to be more efficient in the way we handle medical. We'd have someone dedicated to just handling medical. I talked to the Scott Gibbs this morning, the PA. He looked this over. He's like, that's a great idea because it's so inconsistent right now with too many detention deputies' hands in the medical stuff. And so he has a hard time getting stuff done and good consistent help from our detention staff. So this person would literally work directly with the Scott Gibbs kind of and be his assistant at the jail as well. So if he says, hey, I need to get these medical, he'll show up a lot of times and an inmate will say, well, I was just at the hospital a month ago and I had this and this done. And then without having someone like dedicated to track down those medical records and all that and at the jail, and a lot of times he'll come back A week later, it's still not done. We still don't have the medical records he wanted,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. So,
Okay.
and then as far as the pay goes, at the last page, trying to pay someone, just it's already in the pay scale we have, so it'd be the entry intermediate level of detention deputy.
Okay, why would that be? Why would they be in the entry intermediate level? That's one thing. Your entry level is 21, 22.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of my questions. Is you have a detention deputy? I mean, how is that going to affect your morale with your detention deputies if you're going to hire somebody without, because
I think because you're bringing them in to handle all the medical stuff and the amount of responsibility that comes with that.
Okay, so
and probably the highest liability issue we have in the whole jail.
And
I think the detention staff would be.
They're for it. That's what they told me. They are hoping
Okay.
that something like this can.
And maybe what you could do is make sure that they do get this med pass training and have.
I would for sure. Yeah.
Have that more of a where you have to be, because the detention deputy has to go through post.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this could be a requirement for that person.
Yeah.
To have to pass that in order to get.
I did put in there.
Okay.
The one thing I don't want to happen is for them to just be a detention deputy too, and that then you just pull them off and put them on the schedule somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because this person will need to work day shift Monday through Friday to be there when the doctor shows up, to be there when the medication shows up, to prep all the medications during the day, to deal with any new bookings that came in and check their medical records to make sure they don't need anything the next morning. So but we are going to have them do some jail deputy work as a jail tech. That's why it's kind of jail medical deputy / jail tech. So they will still, because just doing medical isn't going to take up their whole day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have them do bookings. They can do guard tower. They can help with court, like kind of some of the stuff Sean Leroy's been helping with a little bit over there. And so they can go through all the files we have down. We have lots of work for them to do.
Okay.
And then they can help the jail staff with other little stuff too.
Okay.
So as a jail tech. And
all right.
Eventually, if they do want to get certified as a detention deputy, I put that in there as an option.
Okay.
And then they can do more in the jail if needed. But
go to post is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So posts will be optional.
Yeah, because my goal is to attract people in the nursing field, the medical field, a little more that are EMTs, that kind of stuff, that maybe don't want to be a full-on detention deputy, but still have that interest in providing some medical care and maybe touching into the jail side a little bit. And if they are interested in being a detention deputy, that option would be on the table too. And but I didn't account for any extra pay for that or anything. It's just this is your pay rate. This is what you get. It's right there in the middle of the detention deputy line.
Yeah, and you guys, you've already worked out numbers to where this would start at this, and you would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, that's our plan to move forward with that and post it for a few weeks and just get that going. It's all within our budget and just hire it out.
Okay.
I appreciate the proactive stance on that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those issues that we need to get creative on, and this is, I felt like a creative solution looking through jail standards and policies on ways you can manage that inmate medical a little bit and maybe fill one of our staffing positions and help the jail quite a bit. So.
Okay.
Then just to continue on the jail deal, I'll talk about the hiring process in the jail, kind of what we've been, how that's going right now.
Okay.
So it could be better. About a month and a half ago or so, we had 2 candidates that didn't qualify. And Got a couple more apps in. We have 2 in backgrounds right now. We have 1 female, 1 male in backgrounds. The male, he doesn't get his diploma until September though. That's the one issue with him. So we're seeing if he can actually get some transcripts pulled because he is graduating. He was homeschooled, but with homeschooling, I guess things are a little bit different. So he is graduated. He's been out of school for the last few months, and he's got a full-time job. He's just waiting for that diploma. And but if we can figure out a way to get his transcripts, we could possibly get him on board sooner. And the female, she is going through a PT test next week, and then an oral board. She is in backgrounds as of today. Other than that, no other applications for detention, but I did have 3 requests for applications that I sent out today. I got these emails over the weekend and on Monday for court security. So we got 3 potential people for court security. Haven't met them yet, other than an email transaction with them. And so seems like we're getting more candidates for that side of things.
Okay.
And other than that, we're just going to keep on advertising the best we can in all the ways that we can for detention deputy, and hopefully we get some fighters and some people that we can retain.
Qualified applicants.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is getting ones that can pass all the background and meet all the requirements. And Captain Greenhill hit on how the patrol hiring's going and the vehicles.
Okay.
And the easiest transitions, which we had a chance to talk about, is we had 1 applicant that might be due for court security. That's kind of a weird hybrid one, so just so you know, that might work.
Yeah, he tested for patrol, but was kind of interested in
Test for all 3.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Tested for a possible loss position, a court security position, and I think that was it. Ended up
Yep.
switching to that. That's right.
Yep.
Switched to that. We're also dealing with a struggle as far as applicants, obviously. As far as eligible applicants, do they pass the background? Do they show concerns as far as liability-wise, so on and so forth? We only had 1 move on to that process, and he won't work nights. So for a patrol deputy, that's right. So he's essentially a retiree out of Oregon, somewhere, Hillsboro, I think. So he won't work nights. We're considering a couple of options, one of which being court security, one of which being a loss position. We're not sure if we're going to go down that road, because then you're altering standards for, now we open ourselves up to other issues too, possibly as far as other deputies going, well, I would like to not work nights. So we're looking into that option. Essentially, I'm calling every favor I can to try to get an eligible one, but out of the 2 others that sound interested, we're starting to see pretty much blatant saying we're not in it long term here. So I look at the 5-year mark to become a competent patrol deputy. So if you aren't planning to be here longer than 5 years, I can pretty much almost count that, well, you're never going to become a expert at what you do, right? But unfortunately, we're probably going to have to do something like that. Just say, well, I'm going to count on not being here longer than 5 years. So that's the hiring, and then move on to the vehicle. November, December, I believe we talked about vehicles saying as long as it's in the line item, we could go ahead with fixes.
No.
So
not on major.
okay.
Accident or major repair. We're going to be handing out a vehicle policy. That's next.
Mm-hmm.
There's a vehicle policy that's been in place since 2010. Nobody's using it. Rhodes is using it, and so that'll be handed out. One of the things is the problem that I see is when we have major repairs, we need to get 3 bids. The BMW cost of fixing that BMW compared to what it was worth really wasn't a good idea. But I've looked at that. And I think that we need to have 3 repairs, 3 different people go ahead and give us bids in order to do this. One of the things that I'm concerned about is we're getting people talking about why are we moving our business outside of our county. I've got commissioners, old commissioners, all the business was here in the county. And that's where, and that's public complaints, and that's who we represent. And it is more of a cost to take them down there. Right now, we're paying $120 an hour to Lloyd's. We had an offer here through Brandon Church's new deal for $95 an hour shop rate. The gentleman that is his mechanic, Melissa was telling me that he came from Lloyd's Automotive. So, I think we need to shop around. If he's not good enough, or if he gives you a bid, I just think we need to make sure that we shop around so we can get our best bang for the buck.
So I can absolutely start that shop around process. First thing to address the BMW. So with that fixed, that BMW would have run without it not being insured, because that was essentially what came down to the issue. We were getting roughly we could have had so many miles off that, a commuter car and all those things for $6,000, right? And that's
about what it was worth.
And this with it all fixed up, right? To
about
where
what it was worth is what I was looking at. I used to liquidate assets. Mm-hmm. So you get on and you look at NADA, especially for a county like us, we're not going to get full retail. We're going to get trade-in or low book value when we go out to auction these vehicles. And that's what I'm saying is we've got to be mindset on, if the vehicle's age, is it worth putting that much money into it? And that's where I'm looking at it. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to make sure, that's why I asked for what the year of the vehicle is that we're repairing now. Mm-hmm. We have one with 70,000 miles on it, and it needs a motor.
Yes, and that's where I'm getting into trying to explain.
Why aren't we going out and having, if it's 70,000 miles, mm-hmm. Isn't warranty on the vehicle? It's 5 years, 100,000 miles. Shouldn't that be a warranty item?
So that's what I'm trying to explain. As far as warranty item for purchasing the vehicle, no. In fact, if you look at when you're purchasing new police vehicles, they don't get the same warranties as the vehicles. And even in the private sector, the warranties are going significantly down. I just bought a new vehicle myself 2 years ago, and I don't get 100,000 miles. I believe that one was a 60,000 mile warranty. It might have been less. We're seeing less now than even 60.
And what car? What is the make and model of that car?
It's a 2020 Dodge Durango.
Dodge Durango with the blown motor.
With the blown motor. So now going back into case in point, like where do we save money? Where do we not? So before we made the transition to Lloyd's, we were seeing a massive increase in cost. So once we went over there, we saw a 33 to 50% decrease in tires and all of that. Now, Brandon Church is a new additive to the Valley as far as that goes. That wasn't even a thing until very, very recently. But we did do price checks across with I don't want to call out these companies, but numerous other companies. The one company I'll reference in this is because they're directly applicable to this situation, to where the price wasn't even close. I mean, we're talking 33 to 60% savings on a lot of the fixes over there. So doing that switch saved an enormous amount of money. It's the only reason we're even close to within budget with their vehicle repairs, because as we mentioned last year, with having, like you mentioned, older vehicles with more mileage, we're going to have more issues. Now, this vehicle is an anomaly, so I'll address that second as far as what happened with it. But that's where these other vehicles are coming in. We're trying to get those 140,000 over mile vehicles out of the fleet, because it is money dumps. And particularly with pursuit vehicles, they don't hold up as well as others. Now coming down to this vehicle specifically. So it has 80,000 miles on it.
That's 80,000.
80,000. So I want to give that update because we got the exact number now. But also, since when does 80,000 mile vehicles get blown motors? Not very often, right? Not very often. Mm-hmm. The top end job was done at Dave Smith 30,000 miles ago, ish, the top end was done. Essentially, our deputy started having some vehicle issues and said, hey, the engine doesn't sound right, or something along those lines. And he brought it to the shop. And essentially Dave Smith looked at it and said, no, it's fine. And they all it needs is spark plugs or something anyway. And Lloyd's has been helping us because they're like, no, this was Dave Smith's problem. This shouldn't have happened to any vehicle this age with that being done. And essentially it just ate up a ton of oil somehow that they can't even explain. But it ruined the engine, right? So called back to Dave Smith, said, hey, this is looking like this problem.
Did Dave Smith do the top end job on it?
They did the top end job
Yeah,
30,000 miles ago.
Did a top end job
Right.
on it.
So the problem becomes is what is the road forward as far as proving fault legally, right? And I'm not a mechanic. Am I going to go down there and say it is your fault, right? It's a very difficult thing to say, right? Or to know for sure before you make an accusation. So Lloyd's already reached out to them and said, hey, this is what's going on. So and I reached out to Dave Smith twice trying to get some sort of response. Last time they pushed back incredibly heavily to where then what's the road forward if they just say no? Or do we negotiate a half and half cost to where it's like they cover half the cost of this new engine and we cover half the cost of this new engine is one of the roads forward, right? The ABC plan. Do we fight it all the way and just say, no, it was there. We're going to hang on to it, that it was your shop that made a mistake, whatever it may be. So you guys have to do all the work and pay for it. The third thing is this engine is on massive back order. So we can't get it from a regular shop anyway. I tried even the the Dodge dealership over there in Coeur d'Alene, and nothing. They said it's so back ordered, good luck. And then Lloyd's also said that they can pull some strings and get an engine this way, and we can get one, but it's the only way they can do it. And the other quote I got was a quote, but also said the same thing, that it's unlimited time out.
So when did this happen?
The engine?
Yeah.
The engine, this car has been going back for a little bit. The blown engine was about 2 weeks ago, I would say, roughly.
And so at 30,000 miles, it had the top end.
30,000 miles ago.
So that would be
yeah.
50,000 miles.
50,000 or so.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, 30,000 miles. It had the top end when it was at 30,000 miles.
No.
It was at 50,000
It was already at. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then pretty much Dave Smith
Dude.
did the top end, and then the engine totally blew out after they did the top end. And then Dave Smith is claiming no fault of their own.
And do the officers go and do their own maintenance checks? Like, do they check the oil and all that
Oh, yeah.
every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day? No. That's
Not every day?
no. They're not going to be doing. I mean, to go through the whole car every day
Well,
is not
I
typical.
think an
there.
oil change, I would agree that, before you get in the car, you should check the oil. mean,
yeah.
that's- We do it with equipment. We do it with,
You just do a quick walk around and you kind of have it, like a suggestion would be like a little maintenance log. It's a daily log, but it can go throughout the whole month. And you just have your mileage, and you have your walk around and you just check it off. So you check your tires, your mirrors, your lights,
We can look
and
at
your
that.
oil. Yeah. It's a good practice to have the walk
I
around.
would agree.
Yeah.
Now on the repairs and the oil and services and things like that, I'm not talking about going to one person. If we can notice it out to whoever in the valley and get the best deal. Say this is what we want for service, and whoever comes in at the lowest rate, that's what we should go for. Whether it be Dave Smith, whether it be Mr. Church, there's other mechanics here in the valley. I mean, there's got to be.
Yeah, the thing with a new business and working on police vehicles, till they till they're established, and we've talked about it, and we're gonna start going there for smaller repairs and stuff just to try them out and make sure everything goes well, and we don't have any issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then till we establish that relationship and they have a proven track record, I don't want to just go to a random new shop for major work.
Well, we need 3 bids.
I understand
And
that.
and we're under control of that.
Yeah,
We want 3
No.
bids.
I totally get that.
Okay.
But we probably won't go to a brand new shop if it's major work. We can get bids from other places. It's fine. But we are going to start trying to spread that around to other
And I
places
think
for
we
the
need to
smaller work and the brakes and
and it needs to be back here in the county.
well, if we can show that we're going to save 30% of the budget, it doesn't make sense to come back to the county unless you want to do that.
You made a statement earlier, maybe I misunderstood. I like the idea of getting the bids, but I'm okay with going out of the county if we're looking at a 20 or 30%.
Yeah, if we're looking at that, but
Cost.
that's also travel. I mean, did you guys put in travel?
Yeah,
You-
absolutely. So this has been brought up before, and I think so how we've been doing travel is multiple things, right? So we have a ton of deputies that live over the hill, so they're going over there anyway. The travel out of county is like 20 minutes, and then also for that much saving cost is very minimal. On top of that, salary employees, aka myself, have also been doing it, and I'm working overtime for free for the county. So with that, we don't have much extra cost. And then on top of that, you also get a fuel savings because you're getting roughly 50 cents a gallon less, to which they're always instructed to fill up fuel over there as well.
Okay. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. If we get 3 bids, no matter where it comes
get
from,
3
we'll get the
bids.
cheapest bid.
But if we go with the cheapest bid, again, with reliable service,
Mhm.
Yeah.
obviously. But I mean, this has been a problem for 50 years in the valley. We certainly want to give all the locals a chance, and we want to direct our business here whenever we can. But I don't think the county taxpayers can afford 20 to 30% more on cost.
Well, what I'm saying is we have somebody here that already wants to do a shop rate of $95 an hour. And I understand what you're saying, but they have the same mechanic that was working at Lloyd's, that you were there before, working for him now. And that's what I don't understand.
Can I touch on the tow or no?
No, we won't get into
Okay.
all that stuff. Well, I think we should go to the other shop, get some work done,
Mm-hmm.
see how it goes, and then if it turns out to be good work, no issues, then we can continue to go there. I don't like to name out shops that we have issues
Mhm.
with, but you know how it goes with mechanical work. You go, it's all the way from the business dealings to the mechanical work that gets done,
Mhm.
and how they're going to warranty that work, how all that kind of stuff factors into it. And so we've literally used every shop in the valley ever since I started here, farming it all around, trying different shops. And then sometimes it seems like some shops will be giving us a good deal for a while, and then all of a sudden I'll notice they're charging us more than the average citizen.
Okay.
Trying to get, and I'm not saying and usually we'll be like, okay, we're not going to go there anymore. We'll go somewhere else. And we
That
try to
makes
keep a
sense.
lot of it in the
Mhm.
valley,
Mhm.
but you need to establish that working relationship. These are police vehicles that are in pursuits. You don't just take them anywhere, I don't think. So our plan is to, with the new shop opening up, to start bringing it there for some work and see how it goes.
Mhm.
And just get that established, get that relationship established. If they do good work, we have no issues in the business sense, then we can look at bigger projects on the vehicles there. But I think as long as we're getting our 3 bids,
Yeah.
we should be good. And we'll
Okay.
just do our 3 bids, and we'll incorporate that as one of them on some of the work.
Okay.
But we should have that freedom to establish where we want to get the bids from.
Yeah.
Like the shops.
The better bid. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Quick clarifying question on the 3 bids though. So the 3 bids come in every time, and it'll be good to see what a major repair is. Hopefully there's a dollar value attached to it, because that would help mitigate the definitions of what a major project is or a major vehicle expense is. But I get the 3 bids, which is going to happen somewhat regularly. Are we doing a commission meeting every time, or is that something we email to you guys? Here's 3 bids. Here's the lowest bid. We're going with that one.
Yeah, you can email them to us, and then we can just do it in a public hearing. I mean, a public setting that we okay it with.
So we are doing a meeting every time. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
That's
you
my
can just,
question.
I mean, we can have a meeting within 48 hours, or if it's something drastic, we can have a meeting in 24 hours.
Okay.
What amount of money are we calling a major?
Just major repairs. You know, right now we have to go by our previous board's procurement policy. Anything over $1,000 is what they're talking about. Now, if it's just regular repairs, if it's, you know, major repairs, you know, there's service and then there's major repairs. So, I mean, brakes, things like that, that's service. But, you know, until we start amending our policies, we have policies out there that, you know, they're already set.
Mhm.
Just like this vehicle policy. You know, there's some of it that I don't really agree with, or, you know, we need to add things to it, but right now it's the policy and we've got to follow it until we amend it.
So right now it says over $1,000.
Yep.
So we're going to that.
But not maintenance.
Not
Not
maintenance.
maintenance.
He's talking about repair.
Repairs,
Like
the major repairs.
Okay.
Maintenance is, you know, oil changes, brakes, tires,
Shock struts.
strut,
The
yeah,
normal-
strut, just
normal wear
normal
and
wear and
tear
tear
maintenance.
stuff. When you have major repairs, you got engine trouble, you got transmission, you know, things like that.
And we know that you have a lot of free time and we're trying to come up with stuff to help you fill.
Yeah. But, you know, and it doesn't happen all the time. I mean, you don't have major repairs all the time. You have a lot of maintenance.
A lot of it's preventative maintenance type
Mhm.
stuff.
Exactly.
Sounds good.
No, we'll figure it out. We'll get it dialed in, and
Okay.
we'll
All right.
we'll get it going how you guys want it. And
Okay.
as far as this engine, you just want us to proceed with the 3 bids
Yep.
thing and
Yep.
go from there.
That's
And,
fine.
Some of it'll be the issue will be timeline on
Mhm.
how long it'll take them to get the engine, which you may have to factor in if it's going to take them a year to get the engine. Then
Yeah, we
Versus-
understand that. And
yeah.
that's part of the procurement
Yeah.
process is it talks about, you know, exceptions like that, time,
Mhm.
and it also talks about quality and things like that. So, I
Yeah.
mean, we have some room in it.
okay,
Yeah.
we'll do the work on our end, and we'll try and come back next week, hopefully with all the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
the one for 5,000 was already
That's fine.
approved, and it is maintenance type work, but
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
Struts, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
like the
it's-
full
that's the
thing.
wear and
Yeah,
That's wear and tear. Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
And we'll try and get some bids locally and
Okay.
compare them to Lloyd's, and we'll start doing that on more. We'll try and get some more numbers for you on what we're getting charged at Lloyd's on certain things we get done versus what it'll cost here in the valley. Some bids
That
here
would make
locally.
more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because-
and
Yeah.
then that way we'll come to you with some actual numbers on why we're going
Yeah.
over the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
Anything else? Any public comment?
Yeah, on the jail, just the one you're hiring.
yeah,
Same amount of people that you're not looking for next year's budget to.
we're not. We weren't going to add a position or anything for now. The way the hiring process is going, I don't know if we can get them filled anyways. But
Right, but I just wanted to find that out. Just-
yeah, we weren't planning on adding one, and
Okay.
we felt this would add enough benefit overall to the detention deputies to cover one of those positions.
I like the consistency this is going to provide.
Yeah.
Service.
Yep.
And one of the other things on hiring,
Mhm.
you know, you've got 12. You know, you need 12 people over there, right?
Yeah, in the jail.
If you can, and I don't, you know, you'd have to pencil it out. If you can get by with 10, then why can't, you know, well, we should probably talk about it, but you can raise wages. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having none,
Mhm.
you know, you can get by with 10, you know what I'm saying? To
No, to eliminate a position to raise pay and try and get
Yep.
a little more.
Have you guys looked at that?
We will be in this upcoming budget. We'll be looking at all options, see what the
The
best.
same way with patrol. I mean, if you reduce one, you know, because I've talked to other agencies out there, other sheriff's departments, they're having the same problem.
Yep.
And ISP's having the same problem.
So
Of hiring, they're, you know, people leaving.
I can talk on the reduction of patrol. So we just had a guy leave for one of the principal reasons he noted was that we actually don't have enough police and deputies on the road now to do what you should be doing to produce as safe a job as possible, right? So we have guys up in the woods and without radio service by themselves right now. So reduction in force to increase wages would increase the danger to them, especially with how low quantity we have of police on the road now.
Mm-hmm.
Along with
Yeah, there's
shifts.
a point of no return.
Yeah.
somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
But I mean, just to get people hired,
Yeah. No, we're weighing all options. I'll just tell you that much. When it comes
especially
to
for the jail, that's what I'm worried about the most, is getting people hired for the jail so we can get out of this.
Maybe if we had a nicer jail administrator.
Cutting positions is last resort we would ever want to do. But if we already eliminated one detention deputy position last year out of the budget, and then eventually it's just like it was a lot to get those added, and then you just keep trimming away, and eventually you're back to where I was.
Well, I don't think you have to trim it completely out, is what I'm just saying, is fudge the numbers and figure out what's going to bring the people in. I mean, not fudge the numbers, but work it out, and then, that's the problem we have is I think, is it Bonner? They're starting out at $27 an hour. So, I think, we've got a lot of things we've got to look at to get these positions filled, because right now we're burning through the overtime.
Yeah.
And I think we're burning out some of the deputies.
Yeah, that's the problem. They'll work themselves to death, some of them. You got the few that are just they're workaholics. They'll work till.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that in this last pay.
Yeah. Yep. No. So.
Okay.
No, we're looking at everything we can, trying to figure it out, and it's not an easy solution. So we'll have lots of brainstorming sessions. I'm sure you guys will be involved in some of them, and we'll figure it out when budget time comes. And
All right. Sounds
Yep.
good.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate it.
all right, thank you.
All right, meeting